Hello again, everybody. A quick update on my two main colonies. So, first of all, the Lasius niger main colony. They're up to about 3,000 workers, and what they have done is they've spread out over both the nests. So they're occupying the new nest and the old nest. There's still space left in there, but they've definitely moved a good chunk of the population into the new nest. So I'm very pleased with the way that they've taken that over. What this has meant, I've noticed, is that there are less that hang around in places in the outworld, like the water towers and the water test tube, where earlier in the year I'd been reporting a lot of ants living in those locations. They've stopped doing that, so it was probably a cry for more help or for more space that they were doing at that time, and since I've given them more space, that's meant they've retreated out of their outworlds. Now, what I have noticed is that they appear to have gone into diapause. So diapause, remember, is not hibernation. Diapause means a delay in development caused by adverse environmental conditions. I've looked round the nest, and this shot here, this is the only pupa I can find in the entire nest. Everything is just larvae, carpets of larvae all over the place, and I can't find any eggs anywhere either. So it looks to me like they've packed up for winter already, and we're only in mid-August. This shot here, this is the queen somewhere under that pile of ants. I can see a little bit of smooth gaster or something. I can see the queens under there, but yeah, so they're starting even again to slightly dogpile, but mostly they're still active. They're still in the outworld. They're still eating protein. This is a moth that they had recently, and they were very keen on that. They're dragging the protein back into the nest. I don't know where it's going. I presume they're stuffing all the larvae up so that they're all fully developed, but I just don't think there will be any more pupa or eggs this season. I'm not sure why they've done this. Couple of reasons potentially. One is probably July. July was a horrible month. It was cold temperatures, down to less than 20 degrees on a couple of days, and because I only feed my ants what comes in the flat, food was a little bit scarce in July. They're getting lots of food now, but July they weren't. Also, I've noticed that this year, since the colony's been a lot larger, they haven't had this imperative to grow. I find with the smaller colonies, they are must grow, must grow, must grow, because they don't know, they're ants, but their instinct tells them it's dangerous to be a small colony, and therefore your imperative is to grow as soon as possible. But once they're maybe of the size that my main colony's at, that imperative sort of wanes a little bit, and they don't feel the need to be pushing numbers as aggressively. But anyway, they're healthy, they're active, they just seem to have finished developing for this year. The two queen flavus is still going and doing very well. They really appreciate that Wakushi Venus nest. They're absolutely loving it. There are workers that come into the outworld. They're not in the outworld all the time, the little outworld, but as soon as you put something in and they smell it, I have loads of them come out to take the food. So, and that's rare, not rare, but you don't see that with the flavus quite like you do with the niger. So it shows that they are wanting to grow, wanting more food, and they've been eating everything that I put in basically. So they're going really well. Interesting little thing that they've done is they've dug a hole in the cotton wool at the back of the test tube. And I tried to get the camera to point in there. Sorry, it's a bit shaky. This was handheld because I couldn't get the stand in a position where I could film in the hole. And as you can see, this hole is stuffed with larvae. I've no idea how deep it is or how many are in there. All I know, there's a hole stuffed with larvae. But yeah, they've still got eggs, they've still got pupa. Both queens are still perfectly fine. Both look well fed. There's no aggression towards either of them. In fact, they're touching each other on this shot. So they're doing very well, and I'm very, very pleased with their development. And then finally, I've had some comments on some of my videos recently thanking me for the educational work that I do in showing everything about Lasius niger. And one thing that I know that people want is they want to see a record of development. So what I've done this year, and I'm hoping, if everything goes to plan, that the video will be out next week if she gets workers. I caught a Lasius niger queen, and what I have been doing, I have been filming her every single day. And I am going to put all those days together to make one single video showing development from day 0 all the way up to having workers. Every day shows that you can see how the brood develops. So yeah, she's got pupa, she's doing very well. I think she's got about a week to go. I think she's on day 45 at the moment, and I should be able to make that video. Anyway, thank you very much everybody. Until next time, goodbye.